Wallace Industrial Tools and Supplies knows Southern Illinois. Located in West Frankfort, they're your Milwaukee superstore with over 8,000 square feet. Wallace Tools has the largest selection of Milwaukee within a 2-hour radius. Find power tools such as drills, saws, lights, shop vacs, and more with pricing lower than you'll find anywhere else. Wallace Industrial in West Frankfort.
IBI Management manages over 2.5 million square feet of industrial storage, warehousing, and office space in Tennessee, Indianapolis, Ohio, Illinois, and South Carolina with 64 tenants. Please feel free to contact us for any management needed for your property. Feel free to reach out with any questions to Bobby and Iris Kazadi.
With an award-winning body shop right here in West Frankfort, Illinois, Wicks is your hometown Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram dealer. Come out and visit us in person or online at gregweeks.com. Your hometown dealership right on the price, right off I-57.
Kids Corral Incorporated, celebrating 25 years serving the children and families of Southern Illinois. Owned and operated by Jana King and Kristen Cass. Kids Corral in West Frankfort.
Redbirds Live, brought to you by the partners of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates, including former West Frankfort High School dual sport standout Lance Brown and fellow West Frankfort alumni and veteran Matthew Caraway. The law firm of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates are proud members of the West Frankfort community and proud servants of all of Southern Illinois.
Ask Melissa Walden about Shelter's Auto, Home, and Life options. Call or text at 618-937-2092. Melissa Walden, Shelter Insurance in West Frankfort.
Contact Power Wash Plus for a free quote on all your residential or commercial pressure washing needs. Professionally operated and fully insured. Call Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505 for more information. That's Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505.
Howell Insurance is a proud sponsor of Redbird Athletics. Serving West Frankfort since 1925, we provide auto, home, business, life, and health insurance. Howell Insurance partners with Auto Owners Insurance Company to handle insurance the right way, the human way. Call Ryan, Jessica, or Susan Patton at 937-4000. Experience a taste of Mexico at La Fiesta Mexican Restaurant. We have the best food and drinks for the whole family to enjoy. See you tomorrow, amigos. The city of West Frankfort is proud to support the students of Frankfort Community High School. The future is in the youth of our community. Go Redbirds.
McDonald's, family owned and operated. Moreland McDonald's has 21 locations to serve you.
People's National Bank has been serving the communities of Southern Illinois since 1909. We believe that great customer service along with a wide variety of products will meet all of your banking needs. Come in and check us out today. People's National Bank, member FDIC. The West Frankfort Aquatic and Activity Center are proud partners of Redbirds Live. Come check out our heated indoor swimming pool, fitness center, and basketball gym. Stop by for a visit, or you can contact us at 618-937-1665.
We welcome you guys into Redbirds Live as the national anthem is wrapping up here at Bill McKee Field. We're set for an early start between the West Frankfort Redbirds and the Anna Jonesboro Wildcats. Paxton, welcome back. We got a good Mississippi Division matchup today. The Redbirds get a good team in Anna Jonesboro.
Yeah, it's turned out to be actually kind of a nice day. It is cloudy and no sun to be seen, but 70 degrees out. It's a beautiful day for some baseball, in my opinion. Hopefully they can get this game in before any rain might come into play. But, you know, today's going to be an important game. As you said, it's a conference matchup, so you need to play your best baseball. You know, you've had about a month of a season here so far, and what's been the Achilles heel for the Redbirds has been defense. So if they can play a clean game, then this should be a good game.
And the Redbirds looking to snap a losing skid, and why not do it against a team that you're in? You know, it's a conference game. It's an important game for standings and, you know, pride and all kinds of things. It's a team you're going to play twice every year going forward, so you might as well get it done here today. We welcome you guys in here in our pregame coverage. As always, it's brought to you by Wallace Industrial Tools and Supplies in West Frankfort. Paxton, the Redbirds, they need a win in any way, shape, or form. Let's get to the keys to the game. That's brought to you by Weeks. How do the Redbirds find a way to come out on top on the scoreboard here today? Desperate need of one. It's been a while.
Well, one, you're going to have to keep it clean. You know, I said it a second ago, and it's been the Achilles heel of this whole season is, you know, errors, and it seems to be one inning. Usually they'll have some innings where they look good, and they just have one big bad inning where they give up 5 runs here, 6 runs there, and you're not going to win games when you're giving teams more than 3 outs an inning. So it's going to be important to play a clean game and also have good approaches at the plate and know what you want to do. I've seen too many strikeout looking or 3 pitch strikeouts, so you need to go up there with a plan and with a mission. And like you said, this is a desperate game. It's a rival game. It's your conference foe, and you need a win. So no better way to kick off a busy week of games with a win.
Yep, let's get you a starting lineup. We'll start with Anna Jonesboro. We'll get you Frankfurt's in the bottom half. For AJ, leading off, center field will be McFadden, then Harville over at short, Hartline on the mound. In the 4th spot, it's Sheffer at third base. Batting 5th at first base, it's Butler. Batting 6th behind the plate, Campbell. And batting in the 7th slot at second base, Schottner. Batting 8th, Hannon. He's out in right, and out in left, it's Salazar. And for Frankfurt, their battery today, behind the plate, it's Ethan Odom back there, and they go to a old reliable guy on the mound. We've seen him quite a bit this year, Eric Duncan. Let's get a good start from Eric.
Yeah, it's important to throw strikes, and unfortunately, for what I've seen this season, it hasn't been a problem with throwing strikes. It's just been a problem with making the plays behind them. So it's important to, and I mentioned just a second ago, this is a busy week of games, so it's important to throw strikes and go as deep as you can into this game to help your pitching for the full week of games you have coming up. So it's going to be important for him to just go out there and throw strikes, and hopefully your team is behind you defensively and offensively.
And that AJ lineup and that Frankfurt battery brought to you by Sam C. Mitchell and Associates. Wasn't looking good early on in the day that we'd get some baseball, but here we are. Bumped up about 30 minutes early for our contest today instead of a 4:30 start. So AJ gets to come up here early, but they get to go home a little earlier, you would think, and hopefully the rain stays away. We'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon into the evening. But let's have a nice, clean baseball game. This is actually the most clear the skies looked probably the entire day here in West Frankfort. First pitch low and away. We're underway at 3:56, and it's a ball 1 to Aiden McFadden, center fielder for Anna Jonesboro. AJ comes in 8-8. A lot of these teams are playing a lot more games, getting a lot more games in than Frankfurt. Frankfurt just 3-8. So just 11 contests. I know Nashville's played a lot of games. DuQuoin had a lot of games played, but that's why you really wanted to play today. Frankfurt's kind of behind in terms of games played. You need to get them reps in. Count's going to be 2-1.
Especially before you get into conference games. That's why, a lot of teams try to get the first month of games in. You try to schedule as many as you can, too, because of rainouts, and the weather's always usually not very good in the first month of the season.
Up and in, and quickly 3-1 to McFadden. Duncan works out of the wine, looking to get back in the count. You don't want to let this first guy slip away. And that is what will happen. Leadoff walk. To McFadden. Now we'll see Dylan Harville. He's over short.
See how aggressive they are on base paths today. Ground a little wetter than usual.
Duncan's coming to the plate. And it's a ball low. Redbirds have had a hard time keeping teams off the board, especially early in games.
Yeah, it feels like the first 2 innings are usually the hardest innings for the Redbirds to get through.
1-0 here. We'll see if the guy's going, and Duncan will check on the runner. Back in safely is McFadden.
It's a big pitch here if you can make it 1-1 instead of 2-0. Right back in the count. Falling down 2-0. Leaning.
And a better throw maybe gets McFadden, who that went the wrong way as Duncan into the pickoff move again. McFadden dances again, and now they have him picked off. They got to have someone at second. No one's there, and he's in there safe. No one got to the bag. They had him picked off.
There goes the double play.
Duncan got it to Scales very quickly, and McFadden, when he broke, he never hesitated. He went straight for second base.
Credit to him for that.
That's a play Frankfurt needs to make.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
him off the bases.
Should be an out.
Pitch above the zone 2-0.
6 pitches. 1 strike so far.
2-0 to AJ's number 2 hitter. This is popped up on the infield. Harville tosses the bat. Samples is underneath it. He makes the catch for a big out number 1.
That was a gift there, giving Redbirds there and out there in a 2-0 count. Able to pop him up there in the infield. Harmless first out.
And a big 2-0 count.
Hitter friendly count, yeah.
One of AJ's better hitters at the plate. One of their better players overall in Harville, and you get him to pop up, and McFadden doesn't advance. So here's Drake Hartline. He'll be on the bump when AJ takes the defensive side of the ball. He fouls this one back. 0-1.
Got the no batting gloves here for the lefty. Don't see that very often these days.
Old school there. Dunk into the play. This one's slapped just down the first base line. Scales is just going to place the tag on Hartline. Scored 3 unassisted. And now you've got 2 outs and a chance to keep AJ off the board if you can get the batter here. In Sheffer, who's in the cleanup spot over at third base for AJ.
That's an okay out to make for the first out to move the runner over, but fortunately that's not what they needed there with 1 out, because now they're going to need a hit or something wild to score that run.
And don't let anything get away if you're Odom. First pitch, ball high. I've seen him miss up there a couple of times now. Frankfurt due up. It'll be Joyner, Mitten, and Patterson in the bottom half. It'd be great if you could get there. Scoreless. Next pitch. Slap to short. Fielded by Bennett. Flings to first. And the inning does end with a 0 in the run column for Anna Jonesboro. Big top half of the first there for Duncan and company after allowing the guy to get to second with no outs. We're scoreless. We're going to the bottom of the first. This is Redbirds Baseball on Redbirds Live.
Ask Melissa Walden about Shelters Auto, Home, and Life Options. Call or text at 618-937-2092. Melissa Walden, Shelter Insurance in West Frankfort.
Wallace Industrial Tools and Supplies knows Southern Illinois. Located in West Frankfort, they're your Milwaukee superstore with over 8,000 square feet. Wallace Tools has the largest selection of Milwaukee within a 2-hour radius. Find power tools such as drills, saws, lights, shop vacs, and more with pricing lower than you'll find anywhere else. Wallace Industrial in West Frankfort.
All right, let's get you your Sam C. Mitchell and Associates Frankfurt lineup here. Leading off in center, it'll be Joyner, followed by Mitten at third, Patterson out in left. Cleanup spot at first base, it's Scales. Batting fifth on the mound, it's Duncan. The sixth spot over at second is Samples. Batting seventh and right, Shoup gets a start out and right. It's good to see him back out there again. He's working back from an injury. In the eighth spot behind the plate, it's Odom. And in the ninth slot, shortstop Chase Bennett. On the mound for Anna Jonesboro, it's Drake Hartline, and behind the plate, Jeffrey Campbell. That's your Frankfurt lineup and your AJ battery, brought to you by Sam C. Mitchell and Associates. We said in the pregame, it's good to see a guy like Shoup get in there because it'll let you have some more balance up and down the lineup. He swung the bat good last time out.
Yeah, he had some good approaches at the plate. Came up there knowing what he wanted to do. And had 2 opposite field hits. One was for a hit, the other one was a ground out. But yeah, he did a really good job his last game I watched him in, at least. So it's going to be important here. You know, we talked about how it was nice to get a 1-2-3 inning there. It'd be nice to get some runs on the board here now.
Very important. You know, we saw it with DuQuoin. The Indians had a big first, and Frankfurt had no chance to recover in that. And it was almost over from the start. Saw a similar thing with the Nashville game, and you can breathe a sigh of relief if you're Frankfurt's lineup coming up and not trailing here in the first. First pitch outside, ball 1. Cam Joyner, Frankfurt's leadoff hitter and center fielder. Next one on the way. Joyner shows bunt, and he fouls it off. Like the approach though, trying to get on base any way you can.
Yeah, with the daylight today, it hasn't rained too much today, but it's rained the last few days and kind of damp, so might be interesting to see what happens if you lay a bunt down.
Count is even, 1-1. To Cam Joyner, he takes this pitch outside, ball 2. That's over by the chalk in the left-handed batter's box. Mitten and Patterson to follow. See if Cam can get on base to lead off this bottom of the first. Next pitch. Missing outside and low, ball 3. You need to throw strikes to a guy like this. He's very patient at the plate. Love that from your leadoff guy. 3-1 to Joyner. He takes, and we'll go full. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hartline to the plate, and bounced over the head, and that's just in no man's land. An infield single for Cam Joyners. It was right over the head of Hartline and fell right behind him. And the shortstop, Harville, had no chance to make a play.
Yep, sometimes it's just nice to put the ball in play. When you have speed. Speed wins a lot of times. Anything that hit the infield, you're going to beat it out. So it's a good job of working the count. Saw 6 pitches there, was able to get a hit. Now you got your second hitter here in Mitten, hoping to keep the line moving.
Joyner with a nice lead. They'll pick over, and he's back in safe. Pretty close though over first base. We'll see if that keeps Joyner a little bit closer to the bag this time. He's out there again. And to the plate, Joyner's running. Throw down to second, and Joyner's going to be in safely. Oh, and 1 to count. As Mitten let it go through, let your runner get down there. Now you can go to work at the plate.
Yep, and it's important here no matter what, even if you get an out, to at least move that runner to third base. 90 feet makes a big difference with 1 out.
Softball got an early start as well down the road. They're up against Anna Jonesboro. We'll give you some updates later on. Quick mound visit here, but
probably to discuss what they want to do when it comes to calling pitches with the runner at second base. Not wanting any sign stealing or anything like that.
Frankfort not a power hitting team. You got to play small ball and Joyner infield single and stealing second base. Let's see if Mitten can get him over to third. 0-1 to count. To the plate, Mitten slow roller. And they'll get Mitten at first as Harville, and Joyner has to hold up. That ball hit slow. You might have been able to try to break on, especially with Joyner's speed when it was off contact, but a little bit of hesitation. Better safe to go back to the bag.
Yep. If you're not going right off contact, then you need to make sure you're getting back in. Better safe than sorry, like you said. And unfortunately, that was the wrong side of the infield for that grounder.
That's Chase Patterson out in left today. Typically where you will see Mr. Patterson if he's not on the mound. He asks for time. Scoreless game here. Bottom 1 from Bill McKee Field in West Frankfort between the Redbirds and the AJ Wildcats. Frankfort looking to get on the board first. Pick move on Joyner, and he's out at second base. And even with a bad throw, he's thrown out on the pick, and now no one's on, and there's 2 retired.
It's tough pill to swallow there.
Now 2 outs, nobody on base for Patterson. There's a strike. Patterson takes all the way. It's 0-1. He looks to regroup and restart here with 2 outs. Next one fouled back. 0-2.
It's really the first time we've seen a count where he's ahead this much, so it'll be interesting to see what type of off-speed pitches he has. Looked pretty good in his warm-ups, but see how that translates to live action.
one misses way too high, and it's 1-2. Next one from Heartline 2, Patterson. Swung on back up the middle, and that's a base hit to center field. The 2-out single with nobody on base for Chase Patterson, and that'll extend the inning to Will Scales. Stings a little bit knowing that you had a guy out at second.
But definitely scored there.
The approach out there and sequence from the pitcher is going to be different, but
Yeah.
still, you'd like to have tried your chances. But instead, it's in the past. Keep it rolling, and let's see if Will Scales can get this 2-out rally going here with Patterson with the single. As Frankfurt's cleanup hitters at the plate now. At Scales, and he takes the ball above the zone. Patterson, not too big of a lead. And Scales flies it out towards right center. Right fielder over, glove up, into the glove. The catch is made by Hannon. And we're going to the second. We're scoreless from Bill McKee Field in West Frankfort.
Redbirds Live, brought to you by the partners of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates, including former West Frankfort High School dual sport standout Lance Brown and fellow West Frankfort alumni and veteran Matthew Carrowan. The law firm of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates are proud members of the West Frankfort community and proud servants of all of Southern Illinois.
IBI Management manages over 2.5 million square feet of industrial storage, warehousing, and office space in Tennessee, Indianapolis, Ohio, Illinois, and South Carolina, with 64 tenants. Please feel free to contact us for any management needed for your property. Feel free to reach out with any questions to Bobby and Iris Kazadi.
Head to the second. It's scoreless between West Frankfort and Jonesboro. Both teams with opportunities there in the first inning. Neither side able to cash in. But Frankfort, a couple of hits. I know you don't score there, but you got to feel good with your approaches right now. You've got a couple of singles already. Just important to keep the momentum on this side of the baseball as well.
Yep, keep it clean on defense and just keep your same approach offensively, and good things will happen for you.
Here's Dalen Butler, first baseman. He'll be followed by Campbell and Schottner. First pitch swung on and missed by Butler. Chased a pitch off the plate outside.
Keep it outside there with that swing. Really trying to pull everything with that swing. Keeps it up the whole at bat. Just keep it on the outside and you shouldn't have any problems.
The 0-1. In the dirt, bounced in for a ball. Count's now even on Butler. Next pitch. There's a strike 2 call, inner half. Now you think you can definitely go that outer portion. You might get him to chase.
Especially you have a good curveball, a good off-speed pitch here to make him go out of the zone for it.
Looks like that's where they're going, and did not go around for ball 2. It went all the way to the backstop. Another crack at him here. Duncan can retire this first hitter. Instead, it's going to run full. He throws another one to the backstop. Duncan gets the sign, comes to the plate, and walks him. Had him 1-2, and then threw 3 pitches that weren't really that close. Got a leadoff walk, you got to work around again.
didn't come back to hurt you in that first inning. Hopefully, it doesn't hurt you this one. But if you are walking the leadoff hitter every inning, it's not going to lead to success in the long term.
Here's Jeffrey Campbell, catcher for Anna Jonesboro. Duncan coming to the plate. This one is laid off for ball one. Duncan 1-0 comes to the plate, misses on the inner half. 2-0. 5 balls thrown in a row. Big move, not close at first. Butler in easily. Duncan's pitch. This catches some of the black for strike one. Big call there, or else you'd have fallen behind again 3-0. Back in this count now.
It's the swing pitch here.
Runner will
Great
take
job.
off and slapped through the hole. It's going to be a base hit, and it's first and third.
Good old little hit and run action. 2-1. It's a good count to run on, especially if you have a hitter you feel confident in.
First and third, nobody out. Noah Schodner will bat. Jira. Runner will take off. He'll throw behind the runner at third on a called strike. 1-1 to Chotner here.
Nice to see a first pitch strike here to work ahead.
Then you got second and third, nobody out.
Infield in.
This one just a bit too high. Now 1-1. Duncan up to 24 pitches. Next one on the way. Swung on and missed for strike two. Duncan out of the wind to the plate. Swing and a miss. Runner can go. And he's safe, and a run's coming home. Scales dropped the throw down, and it was going to keep the runners at bay. Instead, it gets away from Scales. A run comes home. One runner goes to third, and everybody's safe, with Chotner ending up at first on the drop third strike.
This one he thought it was going to be a nice, easy out there, first out of the inning, and runners on the corner again here, and I'm sure you'll see this runner still for second before this at-bat is over with.
Here's Nick Hannon. He takes the first pitch high, and the runner easily takes second base in Chotner. Duncan coming home. It's popped up. Foul ground. Mitten gives it a look. It's out of play. 1-1. The count. The AJ number 8 hitter. Runners second and third. Nobody retired. Duncan misses up and away. 2-1. This one misses inside, and all of a sudden it's 3-1, and only one place to put him. We're struggling with the bottom of this order, and before you know it, we're going to be back at the top. A chance for the some of the bigger bats to do some damage if you don't take care of some of these down here at the bottom. 3-1. Ball 4.
Can't keep walking guys either, you know. Should have one out for sure this inning, but walking batters is not going to help the case. They're going to score runs, make them earn it.
So left fielder Lucas Salazar is going to bat. The base is juiced and nobody out. First pitch up and in. Backs off for ball 1. You have a force anywhere. Think you field it clean, you're probably coming to the plate here.
Absolutely. In this instance, for home plate is your first base. It's the most important thing. Don't even try to turn 2 with first and home. Just stay out of home.
Counts 2-0 to Salazar. And this is grounded to Midden, and it's through his legs. Everyone is safe. And that would have been probably a 5-2-3 double play because with how hard it was hit on a hop, and it just went off his glove. They're going to reach on an air.
It's a one hopper too. That's usually a pretty easy play there. Just try to throw it before he had it.
We're back to McFadden at the top. There's called strike 1.
This is a pretty big moment in this game already here. The Redbirds, you need to try to limit this as much as you can. AJ having an opportunity to blow this one open.
Fadden lays off. It's touch outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Next one. Started but stopped. Plenty of time to make it 2-1. Still nowhere to put Aiden McFadden, who walked his first trip to the plate.
With nobody out, he's got a second at bat here in the second inning.
Swinging 2-0, and it's fouled to the right side out of play. We're 2-1 now, making it 2-2. Struggled with the guys at the bottom. See if Duncan can go and get the leadoff guy in McFadden. 2-2, misses outside, and we run full yet again. So far, these full count pitches have gone the way of Anna Jonesboro, as Duncan's been struggling to locate in the 3-2 count. Nowhere to put McFadden. Pitch coming in, swung on and missed for strike 3.
Huge first out there. Now you'll probably see the corners stay in and middle, the infield, get back and ready for a double play opportunity. Still force at every base, so you can turn 2, really starting with any base or bag you want.
Dylan Harville popped out his first time, and he slaps this one to left. 1 is in. They're sending the second. Patterson's firing to the plate, and the runner is out at the plate. 1 run scores, and now it's going to be runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Good throw. Surprising send there to send both of the runners there. You're part of the order coming up. Would have made sense just to keep the line moving with 1 out, but now you got 2 outs. Runners in the corners here. If you're the Redbirds, if you can get out of this with only 3 runs scoring, you got to feel pretty good by yourself, given everything that's happened.
Hartline bats with the runners at the corners. He ground out to first his first trip to the plate. Runner's taken off. They will throw it just right back to Duncan. Does Odom. Seeing if they can get the runner to come down the line a bit, as they normally do not. And they did not in that case as well.
In all my years that I've done that play, they never went for it.
Pitch coming in. Swung on, grounded to second. Samples right through his legs, and 2 runs are going to cross the plate. It's 5-0 on the E4 that time. And AJ has a big second inning, and Eric Duncan's defense has let him down here. And we have a mound visit. This one brought to you by Power Wash Plus in West Frankfort. Contact Greg Chance at Power Wash Plus with this mound visit. A lot of the same that we've seen this year. Frankfurt's defense just really struggling to make plays.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where, Duncan has struggled throwing strikes, but when he is throwing his strikes, he's making the pitches he needs to get outs, and he's just not getting that because of his defense behind him is struggling, or lack thereof defense behind him. So, yeah, this is kind of frustrating here. Kind of been the moral of the story here for if you're a pitcher for the Redbirds this season.
So here's Aaron Sheffer. He comes up with just one runner on now over at first in Heartline. Sheffer went 6-3 on a putout. Just gets out of the way of that pitch up and in for ball one. 5-0 win at Jonesboro, big 5-run second inning. Costly mistakes in the field from Frankfort.
Got 3 errors in the inning, leading to a 5-run inning with 2 outs still.
Duncan gets Sheffer to pop it up. Bennett coming in. Now Samples is under it to make the play over on the second base side in the grass for out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the second. The Wildcats jump ahead early, 5-0.
Kids Corral Incorporated, celebrating 25 years serving the children and families of Southern Illinois. Owned and operated by Gina King and Kristen Cass. Kids Corral in West Frankfort.
With an award-winning body shop right here in West Frankfort, Illinois, Wicks is your hometown Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram dealer. Come out and visit us in person or online at gregweeks.com. Your hometown dealership, right on the price, right off I-57.
All right, plenty of work to do, Paxton. Let's see if Duncan can get it going. It'll be Duncan, Samples, and Shoop coming up here, bottom 2. But yeah, as you mentioned, 3 errors there in the top half. Team that put the ball in play got some walks, and if you make errors on top of it, you're going to end up giving up an inning like you did. And AJ got 5 there in the top half.
And yet again, you mentioned it earlier, that seems to be the first few innings for the Redbirds that they struggle. And got through that first inning, you're hoping you could see some more of the same in that second, and unfortunately, it was a very Redbird-like inning there, defensively, with 3 errors, which has led to a 5 spot put up by AJ in that top half.
It will be Eric Duncan leading things off here in the bottom of the second. First pitch misses well outside to Duncan. Count is 1-0, and need some traffic here at a minimum, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You need to get some runners on. I saw the Redbirds do it in the first inning, just unfortunately one of the runners got picked off and Patterson was left standing.
After he was able to get hit to, right after it was Joyner who was picked off at second base.
Who would have scored with ease.
Got now 1-2 after Duncan fouled one off, and he lays off this one. Slapped out to left, the line drive single for Eric Duncan.
Healthy hack.
When they get that leadoff man on, 2 innings in a row, now they need to do something with it. So the Frankfort starting pitcher will get a break via the courtesy runner. Will be Lucas Parker doing that running for Eric Duncan at first base. Leadoff man is on. And now into the box, Chris Samples. He watches strike one. Pickoff attempt, nowhere close. Parker back in. Safe. AJ softball out ahead early in their game as well, 3-0. They've had some good teams here the past few years. Frankfort softball and baseball playing some pretty good Anna Jonesboro Wildcat teams here today in West Frankfort. Next one on the way. Missing down and off for 2 balls and 1 strike.
Surprised we're not seeing the Redbirds running here with what we saw from the catcher so far this game. Very slow pop time.
Not going again. Samples over towards the hole at short. Force at second. There's one, and that's all they'll get. So Harville gets it to Schottner at second, and Parker will be forced out. Samples down to first. We got one retired here, bottom 2. Surely a trade AJ's taken. They're not even trying to turn 2 there. Hey, you leave just one guy over at first.
They'll take 2
more.
more.
You get an out in advance. They'll do it again.
Yep.
Like you said a couple times, if they have to. Here's Cannon shoot. This one gets to the backstop. Samples will have second base. Hartline looking for consecutive scoreless innings. Behind 1-0 to Shoop here. Shoop, chopper to third. Fielded by Sheffer. Fires to first, and they get him on a good throw for out number 2. Now we'll see Ethan Odom. See if he can get it going at the plate. He's had some fits, but had a couple games where he was, hit for. But he's back on the lineup today. Let's, base hit, 2 outs. You should get a run in.
Yeah, running on contact. Supposed to be at least.
First pitch to Odom. It's off the handle, it looked like. Fielded at second, firing to first for a 1-pitch out from Chotner to Butler. We're going to the third. AJ continues to lead this one. They're up 5-0. Take a quick sponsor break, and we'll give you the third inning.
The city of West Frankfort is proud to support the students of Frankfort Community High School. The future is in the youth of our community. Go Redbirds!
Going to the third, it's 5-0 Anna Jonesboro on the back of 3 Frankfort Airs. But, Redbirds have been able to get some ducks on the pond here today, but their inability to get them in has been the story of just not today, but a lot of the ball games this year.
Oh yeah, what's been the story is, if you're Frankfort, you're pretty much doing exactly what AJ's done on the offensive side. The only thing that's different between you and AJ is they're making the routine plays in the field, and you're not, and that has led you to this 5-run deficit and has unfortunately led Redbirds to a couple deficits this year because of errors in the field. So if you're going to want to stay in this game and not let them keep scoring runs, then you're going to have to play good defense. And it's not even, it's routine plays that you should be able to make. So Just a little frustrating.
And at Jonesboro, we'll have Butler, Campbell, and Chotner due up. All three reached there in the second. Butler led off that inning with a walk, and then Campbell was able to single on that hit and run. He slapped it the other way, and to where a second baseman would have been, but with him covering the bag, turned into a single and got the runner Butler down to third. Then Chotner was the one who reached on the drop third, and then really the floodgates opened up going from there. But we reset. It's a new inning. You're in the same spot you were last inning. You're starting with the 5, 6, 7 guys. Let's just flip the script and not let's avoid what happened there in the second.
Yeah, we saw that first time we saw this part of the order come through. First pitch was way outside, and he swung at it, was pulling away, and then after that he couldn't throw strikes, and it just kind of led away to some walks and some errors, and then it just kind of felt like it was going to just keep getting worse and worse from that moment on.
It all started with that walk, I think, and obviously first batter, but at least in that first at bat, and it's not going forward. Butler might be able to put some good swings here. In that first at bat, Butler faced Duncan. He showed no signs of putting anything in play.
Absolutely not.
He struggled at the plate, and all you had to do was probably throw something out or half, and you were going to get a swing and miss. Duncan gets another crack at him. First pitch, strike one call.
The first 2 innings we've had leadoff walks, so it'll be important here to try to get an out here to start this inning off. Change it up.
All 4 half innings thus far, leadoff man has reached, and only the AJ side has been able to cash in. And it was just in that one inning there in the top of the second. Count evens up 1-1. As we mentioned, it's Butler, Campbell, and then Chotner due up for Anna Jonesboro. The next pitch swung on, grounded back towards the middle of the field. Samples was able to knock it down, fire to first, and it's thrown away. Would have been a close play either way. But with it getting away from Scales, we know for a fact that Butler's safe. Wait for the scoring on that. It looked like it was going to be a bang-bang play.
That's
Whether or not he was going to beat the throw or not, but
infield.
But
ground ball.
you'd have to think that it definitely would have at least been an error on the fielding aspect of it.
Right, before the throw anyways. Yeah.
So there'd just be the one. It would be an E4. This one's knocked over towards AJ's dugout. It's fouled off 0-1 to Campbell, who had that nice piece of hitting there, that nice hit and run. You don't see that a lot in today's game, and he looked like a Yadier Molina type hit and run where
he just poked it where yep.
Didn't hit it very hard, but just served it out to right.
He was really good at that. Never seen somebody get so many one-handed swinging hits in my life than I did Yadier Molina. Guy who the Cardinals surely miss these days.
Going to check on the runner again, and back in safely again is Butler. Counts 0-1 on Campbell. Next one, missing down and away. Duncan to the plate. Served to first this time. Scales is there, has to flip to Duncan, the out at first. So put that one in the book. 3-1 on the ground out. Campbell just couldn't get enough behind that one to get it past the infield, but he still with the runner going, stay out of the double play, and he surely didn't hit it hard enough. They were going to turn 2 either way, but AJ, I think, will trade again. Basically working as a sacrifice there. Get your runner down to second, you're already with a 5-run lead.
Yeah, the only thing scary about the runner moving and swinging the bat is a line drive. That could be turned into a double play, but most times if that runner's going and you put the ball on the ground, you'll take anything you get out of that.
Here's Noah Chotner here. Second baseman, reached on that drop third strike. Things started to really get away for Frankfort.
This should be strike one called, and it is. Inside edge. And I think you're probably more willing to push the envelope up 5 runs. You get doubled up. Yeah, it's unfortunate. You want it to work out. It's not always going to work out, but you're still running with a 5-run lead. Probably would see that more there than maybe on the other side. Frankfort needing 5 runs. They're going to play more conservative in terms of base running. Um, in between, if you're running, the guy at the plate's probably taking them.
And if you're AJ, I mean, what you've seen so far, you score most of your runs off of errors, so why not keep people running? I mean, even a ground ball like we saw there could easily cause, confusion for the Redbirds.
This one's chopped towards third. Mitten stays back, fields it. He bobbled it, and the runner's going to beat it out. That could be a couple of errors on that one, on the fielding aspect and on the throwing. And it's going to end up just being second and third, still just one retired.
And these are just routine elementary plays that have got to be made, especially at the high school level. 2 errors in that one play right there. And 3 already in this inning, and you had 3 last inning, so you have 6 errors. And you're not even through the third, top half.
I mean, you allowing that with the ground ball and allowing him to reach. This one's check swing fouled off. That's an error. And then once it gets thrown away and runners move up,
it's a whole nother error.
It's a second error.
Because it created, frustration for sure. Just elementary plays too. That's what makes it more frustrating.
That's not us being, harsh or making something up. That will be going in the book as 2 errors.
2 errors, yeah.
0 and 2 on the swing and miss.
You get the error on allowing the runner to be safe first, and then you get the second error because of the throw that allows both of them to go again. So,
but you got Hannon 0 and 2. He walked first time. See if you can get something by him here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. For out number 1. Duncan wasted no time to sit down Nick Hannon. There's Lucas Salazar. Reached on an E5.
I see that a lot in the book today. Reached on air.
Bunch of E's.
Reached on air.
1 and 0. And now 2 and 0. For Salazar, we flip back to the top and McFadden.
Important here, you get an out.
Pitch on the way. Too far in, and the runner's breaking for the plate as it gets away from Odom, and the run touches home. Makes it 6-0. Count goes to 3 and 0. And that other runner in Schottner moves down to third base as Butler touches home plate. Three and 0 to Salazar on the way. There's strike one call. AJ has tacked on 1 here in the third. Lead at 6-0. This one's going to miss low, ball 4. We're back to McFadden. He walked in the first. He struck out in the second. And here he bats in the third. So my math is mathing correctly. He's got 7 plate appearances today, at least at this rate.
As if we make it that far.
Well, I mean, if we don't, he's got a chance to hit 7 times anyways.
Well, that's very true, actually, as well.
Runner's going to take second base. That's Salazar. So second and third. The 1-0 count to Aiden McFadden. And this is going to run inside and hit McFadden.
on base percentage goes up.
So now Dylan Harville step in. He's got 2 outs, but he's got the bags loaded. So 2-hitter. This is an opportunity you don't see quite often. So he's probably looking, chomping at the bit to drive something in. Top of that order. It's hard to get some guys on base sometimes. You're following up some of the guys lower in the bottom portion of the lineup, but AJ's not had any issues getting on 1 through 9 here today.
So, the 2-hitter, you're usually the guy trying to get on for the big dogs. So a lot of times, I mean, especially mostly in Major League Baseball, you see it, but the 2-hitter is actually the best hitter now in most lineups. Is the number 2 hitter. You see a lot of managers do that these days.
The 1-0. Cut on and missed. Harville's really trying to unload them bases. He's got Chotner at third, Salazar at second, McFadden over at first in a 1-1 count. He pops this one up out of play, foul off to the right, 1-2. Keep this thing in striking distance. Now it seems like a must here, especially if you've got Harville down on the count. Need something here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled. Back, and it caught a piece of Odom, it looked like that time.
Never fun.
And one of those things in the game of baseball. Anytime that happens, he take his time, go dust the plate off if he needs to, go walk a ball out to the pitcher just to buy that catcher the time. You'd see the same thing if the umpire gets hit.
Yeah.
He'll step out in front, maybe go chat with his pitcher.
Get you some more strikes down the stretch of a game.
Whether they need to chat or not, it's one of them,
unwritten rules, really.
Yeah. The long list of unwritten baseball rules that there are.
There is a long list, too.
Popped up, right field.
Anything but routine.
Shoop. Glove up for out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the third. AJ gets another. They're up 6-0 on the Redbirds.
Redbirds Live, brought to you by the partners of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates, including former West Frankfort High School dual sport standout Lance Brown and fellow West Frankfort alumni and veteran Matthew Caraway. The law firm of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates are proud members of the West Frankfort community and proud servants of all of Southern Illinois.
We head to the bottom of the third. It's 6-0 Anna Jonesboro. And, a good finish to the inning, allowing just 1 run. You strand the bases loaded, but you're at the point in the game where it's got to be zeros, even 1 at this point. It's too much.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. So, if you're looking at it from that perspective, you got out of that and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, only giving up 1 unearned run. So, you just got to keep the line moving. I mean, we've seen solid at-bats here by the Redbirds. It's just, like we mentioned, AJ's making the routine plays on the field, and the Frankfort is not, and that's what has caused this 6-run deficit here for the Redbirds in the bottom of the third.
Jace Bennett, then Cam Joyner, then Hayden Mitten. 9, 1, and 2. First pitch that Bennett sees is taken for ball 1.
Just a bit low.
Showing bunt. Bennett gets it down. third base line, fielded by the pitcher. Hartline fires to first, and Bennett beats it out.
Good bunt.
So you get your leadoff man on for the third straight inning. And you're flipping to the top of the lineup. So Joyner's up with a runner on and nobody out. You wanted something the first time, you wanted something the second time, and now it seems very important for Frankfort to get something here. And Joyner's going to show bunt, and this one's fouled off. Next one to Joyner, and it's a breaking ball that just never came back towards the plate. It hits Joyner, and now you've got the first two guys on with nobody out. He'll take that.
Yep. Just got to take advantage of it now.
Some activity in the Frankfort bullpen.
Like Scales was pitching, warming up down there.
Taking a long time, Mitten asks for time, and he steps out. And this one's not in the zone. 2-0. And Bennett catches the defense.
Napping.
Yep, and he'll take third.
Saw him going through the motions. Good read there. Very alert play.
Runners at the corners here, and let's see if Joyner takes second. It's delayed, and they're going to throw through because why not? And he's in there safely. Yeah, a little bit of a delay there from Joyner, but hey, you're down 6. They're probably going to throw through there.
Might as well. Just trying to get an out.
He's still able to beat it out with his speed. So second and third, and Mitten ahead in the count. Nobody retired here in the bottom of the third. Next pitch. Smacked down the right field line, foul out of play. The 2-1 inside off the plate to Mitten. Next would be Chase Patterson. And Mitten pops it up. Back out of play to run it to a full count. Mitten in a full count. Pitch on the way. Grounded towards third. Coming in. And making the play from third is Sheffer, who fires to Butler for out number 1. Redbirds on the board. And Joyner holds put out at second base. There's Chase Patterson. Another spot that AJ will take that trade.
Yeah.
You can have the run. We'll take the out. Pitch on the way. Fouled back. Patterson singled. A hard hit ball up the middle. The 2 outs back in the first. This ball's thrown into center field as Hartline turned, tried to pick off Joyner, and no one was on the base. And you're taught to throw it to the base. Hartline threw it right to where his middle infielder should have been.
Yep.
Ended up not hurting them. Joyner wasn't able to get down to third, but that's what you're taught. Throw it to where your guy's supposed to be, and no one happened to be there that time.
Perfect throw, too. Right on the money.
Now Joyner will try to take third. Throw down, looks late, and it is. Joyner's going to have third base stolen.
You could really steal every time off this catcher. For some reason, every time right before he throws, he seems to stop before he throws. You could really walk
Little
there.
hitch in his.
Yeah, he's got, like, I don't know if he notices it, but he definitely has one.
So now you got another guy down to third. Could be a big inning here. Even if Frankfurt gets
a couple.
2 of them.
And they will.
There is a ball hit out towards the gap, and that is going to split the outfielders. It's going to be a 2-base hit for Patterson as he drives in Joyner. And he dove into second base. So he gets a double along with his single earlier. And Frankfurt's gotten 2 here in the bottom of the third. He swung the bat pretty well this season, has Patterson.
He has. Patterson just does it a lot right. He can play really anywhere. He can pitch. Has good approaches at the plate. He's a good all-around player.
And now, with it being an extra base hit, now you score an extra run, but you still got an opportunity with a guy in scoring position. It's for Will Scales, who's been another guy that swung the bat pretty well. Pitch coming in, swing and a miss. Fastball up.
Eyes lit up on that one.
Oh and 1. The count to Scales at 6-2. Anna Jonesboro. And this hits Scales, another off speed that Hartline's just kind of lost the grip. He did it to Joyner, now he's hit Scales. Have a mound visit. This one's going to be sponsored by La Fiesta Mexican Restaurant. What's been the difference here this inning rather than the first and second? Frankfurt's got some traffic out there, and they've been able to cash in. You've seen a little bit more of command issues, but you seeing better approaches at the plate here?
Yeah, and I think you finally saw the Redbirds take advantage of, they got a bunt single there. That's what started all of it, getting on base and ball hit 3 feet in front of the home plate is, what got all this going. So we've seen good approaches so far. Like we mentioned before, the Redbirds were able to score here. They've been doing everything AJ's been doing. It's just the defensive side is the reason why they were losing. So you can get a couple more runs here. That's really good. But like you said, too, getting 2 here is huge. You're already back in this game with 1 out and a chance for more. So you just got to keep the same approaches that you've seen so far. I don't think we've really seen one bad approach tonight on both sides, really, for that matter.
Anna Jonesboro softball in command of their game with West Frankfort. Softball up 9-0.
Oh, wow.
In, I believe, the 5th inning. Eric Duncan will bat here with 2 runners on. The Redbirds try to creep back into this contest. They trailed 6-0. They've scored a couple here in the bottom of the third. Still some more work to be done and plenty of opportunities to do so. Pitch coming in. Duncan right back up the middle, and it's going to take a bad hop And it's going to be bases loaded as it got into center field as it jumped over the glove of Harville. Redbirds play station to station. It'll be Chris Samples coming up with the bases loaded. Samples grounded into a fielder's choice. First time to the dish. Now he's got an opportunity. First pitch swinging high, and he's fouled it up out of play. Seeing moments of good situations with guys on base, he gets a little antsy. He chases some pitches up.
Tries to do a little too much sometimes.
Go up there, keep that same approach. He's a good, takes a good at bat when no one's on. I know you still got to try to get guys to come home, but in terms of your patience at the plate, it needs to probably be the same here, especially in a big moment. A good take there, laying off. Plenty of movement on that off speed. Misses outside, 1-1. Shoop would be next up. The 1-1. Too low for ball 2.
AJ's got nobody warming up in the bullpen.
Right now it is Heartline's game. It's 44 pitches, despite some traffic in every inning. And it's 3-1.
Falling off really bad right now for Heartline.
Next one. Inside, ball 4. And everyone will move up 90 feet, including Patterson, who will touch home. And that cuts the Frankfurt deficit to just 3. Kanan Shoop next to the plate for Frankfurt, trying to keep the line moving here.
Yes, sir.
I think Chris Samples hurt us too after that first pitch. He really settled in and was very patient and drew the walk. There's a call. First pitch in for a strike. Next one to Shoop. Outside, ball 1. Some good movement on it.
Mm-hmm.
He just missed with it a couple times off the outer edge.
This inning he's really falling off really bad. Everything's finishing towards first base, and that's why the balls are going that way.
1-1. There's strike 2 call. Something in play here. The infield is back. Willing to give up another run here, looks like, would be AJ. This one misses on the inner half. That breaking ball never came back over the plate. It's kind of almost one of them backup off-speed pitches that time. He's really starting to rely on it. There's been a couple times he hits his spots. He probably gets a swing and miss. He's just missed the location a few times.
Yeah, he's either hitting it or hitting you.
Next one. Slap down the right field line. It's going to hook foul out of play.
Nice job of spoiling that pitch.
Odom due up next.
Even a long fly ball here will do a good job.
Next one. Inside corner for a called strike 3 and out number 2.
A good pitch. You could tell Shoop wanted to go and then thought it wasn't going to be a strike, and then it broke there at the very end. And it's everything you want in an off-speed pitch like that.
Now Ethan Odom comes up with 2 outs. Bases still loaded. Hartline looking to limit the damage to 3. Odom, swing and a miss underneath it. Big moment here, bottom 3, 6-3 AJ leading. Frankfurt's already played a 3 this half inning, looking for more. Misses inside, and the runners will hold up. Count now 1-1. Now if you're AJ, you know giving up 3 is not a good thing. You're not going to feel good about it, but you will feel good if you keep it at 3.
Yeah.
You still got a 3-run lead if you're able to do that, especially you got that big strikeout there. Just 1 out, tightrope out of this one. I feel like momentum's going to shift back your way. There's called strike 2. One, two, on the way. Ball outside as Odom was able to lay off. Next one to Odom. Up and in. Nearly got a piece of him. Instead, it runs to a full count. Runners will get a head start on next pitch. A ball in the gap. Odom were to do that. Could be looking at a tie game. Hartline to the plate. Swung on and fouled over towards the Frankfurt dugout. Bennett would be the next up, and he got this thing going with that bunt to lead off this bottom of the 3rd. Full count pitch coming to Odom. Takes up and in for ball 4. Six to 4 the score. Really good at bat there. You know, Odom fell behind pretty quick. Stayed in there. He fouled a couple pitches off and was able to wait until Hartline missed the zone one too many times.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this defense here for AJ is good defense, so it's got to be frustrating for any coach or defense when you're not throwing strikes. Frankfurt's had some good approaches and not gone out of those approaches, even with runners on base.
There's Jace Bennett. Base hit could tie the ball game. Frankfurt's played it 4. Looking a little bit more here. Bennett takes pitch outer edge for strike 1 call. Bennett's going to ask for time. He steps out. Next one, outside ball 1.
Still nobody warming for AJ.
Might be one of their situations where they just go with Hartline until he can't, and they just
Pull
maybe
somebody
pluck
out,
somebody from
yeah.
the field. Hartline looks in, coming home. Foul back to the screen, 1 and 2. So Hartline's got another hitter in the hole. Can he finish this one off? Pitch coming home. Gets away, and here comes the runner, and it's going to be another run for Frankfort, trailing now just by 1.
And what's frustrating too is if you're the Redbirds, you scored 5 runs here, and the 6 runs you gave up, you could really say none of them should have been even earned. So should be up 5-0 here. Not still down by 1.
Now you got Samples at third, Odom at second. Base hit now, you could take the lead. Hartline to the plate, missing outside, ball 3. Full count to Bennett. He'll get back in the box. Hartline looking to keep his team in the lead. Payoff pitch on the way, outside ball 4. Another walk, and that will be it. For Hartline. This pitching change brought to you by Hal Insurance in West Frankfort. So Hartline's outing is done after 2 2/3, and man, is this thing flipped on its head, and that's how quick it can happen, you know, in the game of baseball, and especially at this level. And all it takes is a good half inning, and it starts. You know, with trying to get a guy on to start the inning, and I don't know why, but you know, a routine just single out to the outfield and a bunt single, they're the same thing, but they feel a lot different. And when Bennett was able to, you know, get that down the third base line and get on, he started to feel a jolt of energy coming from Frank.
Yeah, you know, and all got started with that little thing, with that one little bunt, is what's gotten this whole inning going. So it just shows you that one little thing can get a big thing started. And another thing that shows is small balls can still be a factor in baseball games, and that's what's gotten the Redbirds back in this game. So it's just more of the same. They've had good approaches this inning, and now you just got to hope that the defense locks it up and you can take a lead here. Still down 1. That's what's been the most frustrating part of this whole thing is you should be up in this game, you know, and you're still trying to battle back.
So we will see Nick Hannon come in.
Lefty.
He'll come in from right field, as Paxton just mentioned. Southpaw for Anna Jonesboro. Not sure I would have, you know, with how the game was going, would have guessed that Hartline was out of the game before Duncan, but credit to him. That last inning was huge, allowing just the 1 run. He stranded the bases loaded. He left a guy on down at third base in the first inning. I know the second inning was rough, especially from a defensive standpoint, but there's still been moments and situations where AJ could easily have had 2 or 3 more runs, and without them getting it, that's why Frankfort was able to jump back so quickly. Because yeah, even though you were down 6 runs, the game didn't feel like it was over.
No.
And from the looks of it, we've got a long way to go.
Yep. Just got to hope the defense cleans it up, because if it doesn't, then, you know, this whole 5-run inning could easily see another 6-run inning that we've seen plenty of times here for the Redbirds. So hopefully the momentum they've built here goes with them out onto the field.
So with Hannon going to the mound, we see Hartline take over at second. Second baseman Chotner goes to third, and the third baseman Sheffer goes to right. And now it's Cam Joyner in the box. Tying run just 90 feet away. First pitch, missing low, ball one. Joyner singled and reached on a hit by pitch. And he takes this one for a called strike. Samples at third, Odom at second, Bennett at first. All three of those guys reached via a base on balls. 1-1. Joyner swings out ahead of it and fouls it back out of play. 1-2 the count. You got to protect now. At least something in play here. Put the pressure on the defense. The 1-2. Joyner just pops it up over towards third, and it's caught by Chotner. We're going to the fourth. A long inning produces 5 runs for West Frankfort. It's a 6-5 game through 3. Plenty more action. Take a quick sponsor break. We'll give you the fourth.
Ask Melissa Walton about Shelters Auto, Home, and Life Options. Call or text at 618-937-2092. Melissa Walton, Shelter Insurance in West Frankfort.
All right, let's get you the Redbird Outlook. And that is brought to you by Kids Corral. Going forward this week, Frankfort baseball in action again tomorrow. Weather permitting, especially all this week. A lot of rain forecasted tomorrow and potentially Thursday as well. So the schedule, at least as of now, has Frankfort slated to play at Benton tomorrow, and then back at home Thursday and Friday. Those games against Harrisburg and Pinckneyville. We'll have both of those home contests, and we'll also have the Saturday JV game against Chester at 11 o'clock. So after today, we'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday coverage of Redbirds baseball. The softball is in action here today against DuQuoin, against Anna Jonesboro. They're trailing in that ball game. And then a similar schedule Wednesday, so tomorrow at Benton, and then again Thursday, Friday at home against Harrisburg and Pinckneyville. We get the JV on Saturday, and man, they've looked good. They're now 6-1 on the season.
They're fun to watch. I like watching them play. And the good thing about that JV team is, you're seeing a lot of those guys who play JV here playing at the varsity level, so it's good for this program to get as many games in as you can. And it's nice to see that they're winning and getting wins because, you have a losing streak here for the varsity squad. So for these guys who are, a lot of them playing varsity, to get wins at the JV level is nice.
It is Drake Hartline leading off. He swings through the first pitch for strike one. Yeah, so the JV last Saturday went 2-0 in a 3-team round robin, defeating Pinckneyville 13-5 and Anna Jonesboro 12-2. Next pitch popped up over in foul ground. Mitten giving it a look. He's there. Glove to the side, but makes the catch for out number one. That play in specific has not been a guaranteed out this season, so it's good that you get that one, especially the first batter of the inning.
It's been the Bermuda Triangle for the Redbirds this year. It's like a Spider-Man meme when all of them are pointing at each other when the ball falls.
Well, thankfully, not the case there.
Yes.
Next one grounded towards mid. Fields fires quickly, 2 outs.
Here we go. Redbirds look like they got some more confidence in themselves now that they're back in this game.
And that was Sheffer, grounded out to Midden. We'll see Dalen Butler come up. He's reached on a walk and he's reached on an error.
2 quick outs there. You're Duncan, you're loving that, especially for what the first 3 innings have been for him.
Yeah, that's just in 3 pitches too there for those first 2. And now he goes with off speed. It's spiked in, but I I go right after this guy. He's probably being told,
Absolutely.
hey, we've already got 2 outs on 3 pitches. Take a pitch or so. That's why I think a get me over fastball would have been a nice pitch there, but Duncan falls behind 1-0. So I don't expect people or Butler here to knock one out of the park with the wind appearing to be blowing out towards right field. He takes this off speed for strike one. Duncan gets a swing and a miss, and that's that spot you can live with Butler, it
All day.
appears, at least today.
All day.
And now you see some activity for AJ's bullpen. Counts 1-2.
I think it's just the lefty getting some more pitches in.
Yeah, it appears so. And over the head of Butler, and the count goes to 2-2.
See a guy flail the pitch before, and then you go back inside. You just got to keep working that outside part of the plate. You don't want to help his swing by throwing it to where his swing path goes.
Butler lays off this one. We go full. You had him 1-2 and walked him earlier in the game. You had him 1-2 and you've run it full again. And you've walked him again. Definitely seems like a matchup Frankfurt should be going after, and Butler's reached all 3 times.
Just throw strikes.
With Jeffrey Campbell punched the ball out to right for a base hit, and then also grounded out 3-1. So with Scales, who flipped it to the pitcher, Duncan covering the back. 2 outs, runner down at first. First pitch, too tall for ball 1. Redbirds are hanging around. They got 2 quick outs in this inning. Then a full count, ends up with a walk, and we're still going here in the 4th. Thrown over on Butler, who's about 5 feet off the bag.
Just worry
There's
about
2
the
outs.
batter.
There's
Yeah.
2 outs. You cruise through 2 outs. You struggle to throw strikes. Let's go get this guy.
To a guy who has been on base 3 times and he shouldn't have been on base once.
And this is a guy he's got a base hit in Campbell, but
it wasn't anything great.
both balls he's put in play have been very weak.
Yeah,
Contact.
both in normal situations are routine outs.
You got him the second time. First time the second baseman would normally be there. This is not for everyone, but you keep throwing over, it easily can throw you off in terms of finding hitting your spots, coming to the plate.
Already struggling with that, so shouldn't really worry about anything else besides throwing strikes.
3-0.
See, quick pitch there. Should have been an easy inning here. 2 quick outs, and now this is what's been the reason they've scored 6 runs. This type of action right here.
There's a strike. This one's squibed back to Duncan off his glove, fielded by Samples, and he fires to first for the out. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. 6-5. AJ on top of West Frankfort.
Wallace Industrial Tools and Supplies knows Southern Illinois. Located in West Frankfort, they're your Milwaukee superstore with over 8,000 square feet. Wallace Tools has the largest selection of Milwaukee within a 2-hour radius. Find power tools such as drills, saws, lights, shop vacs, and more with pricing lower than you'll find anywhere else. Wallace Industrial in West Frankfort.
Kids Corral Incorporated, celebrating 25 years serving the children and families of Southern Illinois. Owned and operated by Gina King and Kristen Cass. Kids Corral in West Frankfort.
All right, so yeah, you had a little bit of traffic there. You started to lose the command if you're Eric Duncan, but it's a scoreless frame. Momentum's right back with you as you come to the plate. Fresh set of outs. You got a pitcher you saw just one at bat against, but clean slate here to try to tie this up and take the lead.
Yeah. Hopefully the rest of the way out here we just get pitchers who throw strikes and let the game play itself. You know, we've seen a lot of walks here and a lot of unforced runs. I mean, unfortunately, there's 11 runs scored in this game, and I would take an educated guess that 7, 8 of them have been unearned. So it's just one of those things where you got to just keep doing what you're doing for the Redbirds. I mean, you were down 6-0, so take away the second inning, and the Redbirds have been winning this game all the way through. So keep the same approaches that you've had. This is going to be the first real full inning you've gotten with this new pitcher. So just keep the same approach, and if he throws you strikes, take advantage of them.
A quick 11-0 AJ softball victory over West Frankfort. So they have been really good the past few years. They come to Frankfort and get a big win again here today against Frankfort softball 11-0. We're in a good one here. We go bottom 4. Redbirds come to the plate trailing by just 1, and before they started the bottom of the 3rd, they were trailing by 6. So momentum on the sides of the Birds here. Will be Mitten, then Patterson, and then Scales. 2, 3, 4 guys. First pitch to Mitten, misses below the zone. Mitten takes this one, same spot, 2-0. Got the lights on, that cloud coverage from the start. Sun peeked through for maybe a couple seconds, and that's about it. Mitten goes after this one. High fly to left. Center fielder comes over to call off left fielder. That's McFadden, who makes the play for out number 1. Here's Chase Patterson. He singled up the middle, doubled out towards right center. He lays off, pitch up high for ball 1. And the next one popped up, foul ground, over back behind first. And making the play over there that time was Butler. 2 down. So like the top half, 2 very quick outs here in the bottom half of the 4th. Now it's Scales. 2 outs, nobody on base. Frankfort trailing at 6-5. Scales, first pitch, fly ball, straightaway center field, drifting over to the left is McFadden. Glove is up. He makes the catch for a quick 1-2-3 inning for Hannon and the Wildcats. Right into the 5th, 6-5. Redbirds trailing by 1.
With an award-winning body shop right here in West Frankfort, Illinois, Wicks is your hometown Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram dealer. Come out and visit us in person or online at gregweeks.com. Your hometown dealership, right on the price, right off I-57.
The city of West Frankfort is proud to support the students of Frankfort Community High School. The future is in the youth of our community. Go Redbirds.
All right, Paxton, we had a pretty long third, and the fourth came and was gone in the blink of an eye, it seemed like.
What kind of inning?
Frankfurt looking for another quick one here in the top half of the fifth. A good inning there from Duncan. He lost command there for a second, but was able to battle back. Important to get another one here because I think a little prolonged inning here, and AJ will be able to flip the momentum back their way.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully the defense does what we saw in that last inning. Every play was made. Routine plays were made. It was a good inning all around. Just keep working ahead.
It'll be Chotner, then Hannon, and then Salazar. So 7, 8, 9. And these guys have given fits. Frankfurt today. First pitch, line drive out towards Patterson. Glove thrown up, and it's in the glove for the catch.
What a play.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's a good rip, though.
They're celebrating a double, which was actually a line out. It was, but Patterson, smart to just throw that glove up last second with an effort, because knowing if he doesn't get it, it's an extra base hit either way.
He took a great route to that ball. I mean, that was not an easy play to make, and he took that best accurate route you could make, and like you said, threw his glove up there. Like we mentioned earlier, he does a lot right.
Count is 1-1 now on Hannon, who had a very quick bottom of the fourth inning out there on the mound. The 1-1 misses up and away.
You've seen with Patterson today, he's had a big hit, drove in some runs, threw a runner out at home early in the game, and now just made that play. So he's had his footprint all over this game, and that's kind of been the story for the Redbirds all year.
Duncan. It's a nice pitch in there for strike two. Two and two. Duncan to Hannon. Swung on and missed for out number two here in the fifth. Now you got Salazar. Reached on an error and he's walked. 9 guy, no reason to mess around. Go right after him. Base hit happens, a base hit happens, but you really don't want to walk the guy. 2 outs, nobody on base, especially with the 9 guy batting. First pitch, out towards the gap, on the run. Joyner, he's over to make the play. So a couple of decent hit balls for Anna Jonesboro, but some Redbird outfielders able to track it down. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. Redbirds trailing by 1.
IBI Management manages over 2.5 million square feet of industrial storage, warehousing, and office space in Tennessee, Indianapolis, Ohio, Illinois, and South Carolina with 64 tenants. Please feel free to contact us for any management needed for your property. Feel free to reach out with any questions to Bobby and Iris Kazadi.
We go to the bottom of the fifth at 6-5. Hannon back out to work in relief for Anna Jonesboro, but even with some good contact, it shows what good defense behind you can do there, as we saw there, top of the fifth. Oh, quick. Another very quick inning for Duncan.
Yeah, he's done a good job here, and I mean, he hasn't done bad this whole game, really. I mean, the defense was there for him in the first half of this game. Then, you're probably talking a 5-1 game, 5-2 maybe, at the worst. So he's done a good job, and it's just his defense has finally come through, and he's not falling behind like we saw so much in that first half of the game.
So it's Duncan, Samples, and Shoop for Frankfort. And it's quickly a 2-0 count to Duncan. Find a way on base. You tie this up, then you worry about the next one. You got to get there first. Next pitch to Duncan. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Third baseman Chotner in on the grass, and he makes the play.
Frustrating result when you have a 2-0 count.
That's Samples. Reached on a fielder's choice and walked. Samples takes a pitch inside for ball one. Important here because you get to the sixth and AJ's going to have their 1, 2, and 3 guys due up. Two and 0. Samples there, strike one. Two one pitch. Popped up back over near first base. Butler is there and makes the catch in foul ground for out number 2. Now it's Shoop's turn. Struck out looking last time up and also earlier in the game grounded out to third base. 2 outs, nobody on base. Another quick first couple of outs. And Shoop's going to be hit by the pitch. So they have first base. That'll extend it to Ethan Odom. Grounded out earlier. But had a nice walk. Good at bat last time up the plate that helped lead to a couple more runs Frankfort was able to get. I know he had to foul a couple pitches off before getting that walk, and that's was in a bat that Hartline was actually throwing some good pitches. Odom takes this one out outside Black for strike one. Hannon coming to the plate. Takes it inside, does Odom for ball one. Hannon has been good in relief, and he's ahead in the count 1-2 now on Ethan Odom.
He does a pretty good job of just being all around the zone. When he is missing, he's not missing by a whole lot.
The 1-2 taken below the zone, and Shoop's going to take off, and he'll have second base. Nice read. As Shoop saw it trickle away a little bit too far away from Campbell, and he now is out there in scoring position.
And now base hit will score, probably, with there being 2 outs, supposed to be off with contact.
Yeah, we'll see. It depends. I mean,
I know he's a little injured still, so we'll see how. He did take a ball off his leg, too, to get on base, so.
This one way too high on the off speed. It's full count. Next is Bennett. Three-two. Foul back to the screen, and Odom stays in there.
So we saw from him his last at bat that worked a walk. Fouled off a couple of pitches on the inside part of the plate, and then was able to walk 90 feet to first base.
Would be an interesting at bat for Bennett. His first time batting on the right side in a long time with the lefty on the mound. Next one. Swung on and missed on the pitch on Looked like it might have been off the plate, probably too close to take. Swing and a miss. We're going to the sixth. AJ still clinging to that 1-run lead.
Contact Power Wash Plus for a free quote on all your residential or commercial pressure washing needs. Professionally operated and fully insured. Call Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505 for more information. That's Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505.
All right, Paxton, going to the sixth at 6-5. Both teams really settled in these past couple of innings there in the fourth and fifth.
Yeah, you take away that really long inning we had there, and the last two have flown by. So, it was kind of an ugly game in the beginning there on both sides, and now both of them have cleaned it up, and we're seeing some good baseball here down the stretch.
Still some time for AJ to get going, but they only have 2 hits today. And the fact that
6 runs
allowed 6 runs with just 2 hits, that's tough, because if you then have a team that's actually hitting the ball, you're looking at north of you're in double digits in terms of runs you've allowed. And
yeah.
The fact that you're in it is a credit to Frankfort for hanging in there and playing some grinded out baseball and hanging around. But in the same sentence, you got to be thinking these are games we have to win. The way our pitching has showed up, and the way we've been able to score some runs as well.
It's just it's been frustrating. Your pitching for the most part, especially for what I've seen this season, hasn't been bad. You've found strikes. It's just been defensively, and you've seen a lot more errors on the infield than you have the outfield. The outfield seems to be pretty well set there when you have it the way it is right now. So it's just young things, though. With a young team, you'll have problems like that. To work through them.
McFadden's first pitch, and he serves it to right for a base hit. Sat back on the off speed and just sent it to right through the hole on the right side. And 1 pitch and a base hit. You're at the top of the AJ order. Here's Harville. Singled. Popped out. Blown out. Called strike, and Odom can't get it out of the glove. Duncan, the runner at second, showing bunt. He committed, so it's going to be strike 2.
AJ trying to get an insurance run here. The 2-run lead is much better for the stress level than a 1-run lead.
Runner's going, and it's fouled off right or left side. Yeah, you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get. Both offenses have cooled off. They're passed a couple times to the plate. Duncan checks the runner, comes home. Swung on way out in front that time. Was Harville.
It was incredibly out in front. Looked like it was going to hit him if he didn't swing.
The count stays 0-2. They try picking off the runner a couple times. He didn't save both times.
With the same exact lead every time. Hey, why don't we just worry about the batter?
Yeah, you got him 0-2. So, I mean, next pitch missing outside.
Because usually when you're focused on the runner, it's when you tend to leave cookies down the middle or just can't find the strike zone.
The 1-2 on the way. Too high. Duncan will try again. Gets a pop up, foul ground over the right side, and it'll get out of play.
A little bit of a quick pitch there, that one. He does it every once in a while. He'll really have slow motions towards the plate, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, he'll have a quick set and then go.
Duncan to the plate. And well foul again down the left field line. Way out in front of it. That time was Harville.
Just a long strike. And 3-foot lead that time.
Hartline on deck. Then Sheffer after that. Duncan to the plate. Missing. Above the zone. Count runs full. Next one from Duncan. Swung on, popped up, out of play again. Next one from Duncan, just outside for ball 4. We'll have a mound visit. Coach Smith will come talk to his pitcher, Duncan, who gives up a first pitch single to start the inning, and then a very good at bat work there by Harville. So it'll be first and second. With nobody out. And that looks like it will be it for Eric Duncan. Will Scales will come in relief. Duncan goes 5+, and he'll just take over at first base, it looks like. So not the most efficient day taxing here today for Eric Duncan, but the way he threw the ball, he certainly gave the Redbirds a chance to win.
Yeah, he did everything. I mean, I don't know exactly what his numbers are, but 6 runs were given up, and I would say he didn't give up but maybe 2 of them for earned runs. So he only gave up 2 hits, like you mentioned. So he, struggled with walks occasionally, but he just didn't have any defense behind him either. So anytime you're not having defense, it's not going to help your strike zone either. And as the rain starts falling down, hopefully the Redbirds can get out of this inning with no run scoring and get a couple runs and then get a couple outs to finish it off in the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, so Duncan right now, he's 5 innings pitched. That's going to remain that. He'll stay at 3 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, 4 Ks, 6 walks, and he's responsible for those guys on base. And those would both be earned runs if they touch the plate, getting on a walk and a base hit. But we'll go to you hand the ball over. You still got a shot in this thing. You just need a good relief appearance, and mainly you got to throw strikes to have a shot here. Throwing strikes won't guarantee that you'll have a shot, but throwing balls will guarantee that you won't.
Exactly. And just hopefully your defense is behind you. Rain's coming down, so you can't expect the ball to really fly too much.
The simple just swap between Duncan and Scales. So Scales to the mound, Duncan to first, and Scales will first face Drake Hartline. Then he'll get Sheffer and Butler after that. Get a force at any of first, second, or third base here. First pitch, grounded foul right side over near the Redbird dugout. It's a good start to the at-bat. I know Hartline tried jumping on it, but still, just a foul ball, which results in strike 1. Scales looks at the runner, comes to the plate. Grounded over towards first, that's Duncan. And he just takes it to the bag for 1 out. Runners both move up to second and third. If you're going to field it fair there's not really any other play than what Duncan went with.
Exactly. And, AJ, if you're AJ, that's a okay out. You're trying to get insurance runs at this point, so you'd rather him roll over on a ground ball like that than, a harmless strikeout for the Redbirds.
First pitch, ball 1 high to Sheffer. Get a big hit here if he got one. Instead, he pops it up. Samples over near first. Glove up, he makes the catch. And walks it back into the infield for out number 2.
Just 1 out away now from tightroping out of some trouble here. Like I said, it'd be nice, some momentum here to get out of this with no one scoring, and you score a couple runs yourself, and then all you need is 3 outs on that top of the 7th, and you can walk away with a win before it becomes a downpour.
Here's Dalen Butler. He's found a way on base. He watches a high strike 1 call.
Hopefully Scales goes right at him here and gets his bats going here for the Redbirds.
Next one. Flared out to right. Shoop. Working around, glove up, into the glove for out number 3, and a nice job of Scales coming in, inheriting 2 runners, and he leaves them out there on the bases. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Redbirds still trailing by just 1. See if they can get something going. We'll be back after a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Experience a taste of Mexico at La Fiesta Mexican Restaurant. We have the best food and drinks for the whole family to enjoy. See you tomorrow, amigos.
How about that job there, Paxton from Will Scales coming out of relief or inheriting a couple guys on base. First and second, no outs. Then it's second and third, one out, and he works around traffic, and it's fairly, done fairly easily.
Yeah, he did a good job there, and everything you can ask for. And now you got 9-1-2 coming up here, and if I remember correctly, that's what started that huge inning a couple innings ago was the 9-1-2 with a bunt single that got everything going. And if you're the Redbirds, if you could get a couple runs here, all you need is 3 outs, and you could win this game. I feel like you really stole it, honestly.
Yeah, that was way back in the third when that happened, but yeah, another credit to Scales. That was what he just did was against 3, 4, 5 guys. He got a very weak ground ball, a pop up on the infield, and then a lazy fly ball against the meat of AJ's order. And I'd say score a couple here and let him go shut it down there in the seventh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like the way you're thinking.
Trying to speak it into existence here because you've had some luck doing that.
Yeah.
So it will be Jace Bennett, then Cam Joyner, and then Hayden Midden. 9-1-2 for Frankfort. Bennett takes a pitch way up high for ball one. Bennett's reached a couple of times. He's showing bunt. It's deadened in front of the plate. Picked up, firing to first, and it's way over the head.
Oh,
Bennett
wow.
should have second, and he's going to have third if he hustles, and he will have third base easily.
Oh, wow. So, see, there you go.
Bennett plays small ball, and AJ throws it away. And with no outs here in the sixth, the Redbirds are 90 feet away from tying the ball game.
Put the ball in play, good things will happen, Garrett.
So that's got to go down as an E2.
Yeah, because he would have been out on a good throw.
It looked like Campbell almost kind of slipped getting to that baseball. And never seemed comfortable even when he threw it down to first.
That was kind of a perfect place bunt there with it being at the very edge of the dirt there. I'm sure his landing foot to throw was right on the wet grass there, so yeah. Easily see a reason there to slip.
Infield drawn into the grass, all 4 of them for AJ facing Cam Joyner. If he could just slap one, just bloop one right over their heads, this would be a tie game.
And it'd be nice if he could get on base here too, because he's got speed there that could easily get himself in scoring position without even needing another hit.
Hannon, next one. That hit him. So Bennett will have to stay. But with Bennett staying, you got second base open, and you wonder they might not throw through, knowing that, hey, they know that matters. That's the go-ahead run. But they also want to keep it with a lead.
Well, and if they're going to keep the infield in, then obviously he could easily
They're going to gift him second base. They're not even going to try to get him, but
then all you need is a base hit, and you could take the lead with the speed of Joyner at second.
So it almost works out
better
to Frankfurt's favor. Now that
better than you can draw it up, really.
Now, you would have taken the run. You're not going to try to hold Bennett out there at third, but that's still a guy out there that AJ has to worry about, as we were saying.
Yep.
And this is right here for Frankfurt to take. If they execute well, they're going to have at least a tie and a good chance to take the lead going, and they just need 3 outs in the seventh.
And they should be going to the bottom of their order.
They're at their 6, 7, 8,
granted,
9.
We've seen problems on that end, but a lot of it was defensive errors, which caused them to get on base to begin with.
So Joyner's actually reached 3 times.
Been hit twice.
He's been hit twice. Here's Midden.
Got corners in, but
Joyner with the first baseman way off the bag. Once he comes to the plate, he might go. Instead, it's ball 1.
Might wait it out. 2 pitches to see, because you got the second baseman's playing much deeper than shortstop is.
Butler is over there on the bag now, holding Joyner. That could have been your pitch, because it would have been tough for Butler to try to get back to first base.
And you got a lefty here, so you got to be careful. Joyner's been picked off once tonight already. Last thing you need for momentum is another pickoff.
This ball misses a little bit up. It crossed a little bit above the zone. Looked good when it popped the mitt, but it's where it crosses the plate, as we always say.
Also, it helps how good a catcher catches it.
Next one, way above the zone, and no chance to get Joyner. 3-0 the count to Mitten. And with the go-ahead run, it's a little different if it was the walk-off run. You'd probably just go ahead and put Mitten on right now, but still, AJ knows they're still going to let him do it. But that's the thing.
So you got Frankfurt's probably best hitter coming up to the plate now with bases juiced.
You get a force now anywhere, but it also the game doesn't end if Joyner touches home. You still get the bat, but by walking Mitten, that runs the risk of maybe an extended inning for Frankfurt. But AJ probably feels like they're in a spot where they have to go for broke and try anything they can.
Force anywhere. Because AJ's shown to have pretty good defense besides the one error we've seen in this inning. Now you got the best hitter up.
Patterson takes inside.
And I've mentioned earlier how he's already had his footprints all over this game, and now he's got a chance to really cap that off here.
1-0 the count to Chase Patterson. Scales would be next up. Rips it out to left. Left fielder going back. It's over his head. One is in. Joyner's off to the races. He's going to be sent home. They might send Mitten, who had a good read on it. He's coming to the plate. Play at the plate. He's safe. Patterson's all the way to third, and he's held up there. A 3-run double for Chase Patterson, and he's down to third base. And the Redbirds have taken the lead in the bottom of the sixth.
What a game. What a game for Patterson as well.
8 unanswered West Frankfort runs.
5 RBIs for Patterson, if I'm correct. 5 or 4 for sure. Drove in 3 there, and I'm pretty sure he drove in 2 earlier in this game. A double.
We'll get it tallied up here in a second, but he continues to find his way on base. A 3-run double, and he advances up to third, and now Frankfurt can try to go up again. Grounded to third, they got to come home, and they might have Patterson, and they do. Had no reason to break to the plate there. Scales is down to first.
It's okay, though.
Big play from AJ. They needed to keep it at where it was at. So here's Duncan. The Redbirds leading at 8-6. We've got him at 4 driven in.
4. I knew we drove in 3 there. I just couldn't remember if he drove in 1 or 2 with that first double.
But Mitten was Joyner's as quick as it gets for Frankfurt. Mitten was right on his tail. Ball 1 inside to Eric Duncan. So Scales is the runner at first. Patterson was cut down at the plate. And now strike 1 called, and it's Lucas Parker again, courtesy runner over at first for Scales. 1-1 to count to Eric Duncan. Pick move over to first. Slow move, keeping Lucas Parker honest over at first base. And you mentioned it, Paxton. 6, 7, 8, 9 due up. So a little bit of leeway even. You allow one guy on, you can still get it done without flipping to the top. Popped up. Butler over near the fence, and it's just out of reach. His glove. And I will say, he's looked a lot more mobile than probably any other first baseman we've seen this year. He's been able to make some nice plays.
Yeah, he has. He's got good ground, covers a lot of it too.
He made a nice play on a pop-up, looked pretty routine on a ball way out in foul territory, way behind the infield. Counts 1-2 on Duncan. Pitch. Too high, ball 2, delayed steal, and he's safe at second is Lucas Parker. And I know you like that you got the lead, but you won't complain if you get another one here.
Oh yeah, no. I'll take as many runs as you can get here.
Two to Duncan. Swung on, chopped foul over towards third base line. Duncan digs back in. He's ready to go, as is Hannon. Checks the runner. He comes home. Swung on, same spot, fouled off third base line. Keep spoiling it until you get one over, maybe a mistake over the heart of the plate. But some of these inside pitches, Duncan's getting to pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's all over the inside part. Be interesting to see if they want to keep going there. With the lefty, just try to stay outside.
2-2, 1 out. Pitch to Duncan. Foul down the left field line, out of play again. Two and two. Incoming to Duncan. He takes ball 3. Parker's going to take off for third, and he is safe at third. Got around the tag. Looked that way from here. I just wanted to make sure that's how they called it.
Throw beat him, but yeah, he did get around. He did a little swimming slide.
Infield has to come back in. 3-2. AJ would take a strikeout as well, and then they could just play normal depth. Duncan's looking for anything to the grass. He swings and misses for out number 2.
It's a good at bat, though. Battled.
You have to think, if AJ finds a way to get back in this and tie it, you think of that moment there, and you think of Patterson being cut down at the plate with no outs, going on a ground ball on the infield. Here's Chris Samples. Samples. Runner 90 feet away. He takes one that pops out of the glove. Parker's breaking off for the plate. Toss in there, and he is safe underneath the tag.
It's a good call.
And he avoids a couple of tags in the past few pitches and some real gutsy takeoffs from, balls that just barely got away. They pan out both times, and Lucas Parker said, "You guys aren't gonna bring me in. I'll get in there myself." 9-6, 3-run Frankfort lead in the bottom of the 6th. Samples takes low, and he can reset. It should be 2-0.
I think, yeah, I believe so.
Next one, swung on, back up the middle, right near the center fielder, and that's McFadden who puts it away. But a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th. We're going to the 7th. Frankfort's 3 outs away from getting this win here in the Mississippi Division against Anna Jonesboro.
Howell Insurance is a proud sponsor of Redbird Athletics. Serving West Frankfort since 1925, we provide auto, home, business, life, and health insurance. Howell Insurance partners with Auto Owners Insurance Company to handle insurance the right way, the human way. Call Ryan, Jessica, or Susan Patton at 937-4000.
All right, Paxton, 9-6, we're going to the 7th. It's not been the cleanest game. Frankfort's made plenty of mistakes. But 9 unanswered runs to take a 9-6 lead. This is the type of game with a big turnaround like this that can really change the course of your season.
Absolutely. This is one of those wins where, it could make a team look like a complete difference overnight. And, This at one point in this game, we were talking. At least I brought up the idea of maybe AJ 10 running ruling the Redbirds because they had 6 runs with bases loaded and nobody out at one point, and the Redbirds were able to get out of it. So credit to the Redbirds, especially for a young team like this to be able to have the wherewithal to battle through the whole game and come back, especially with all the errors we saw. We saw 6 errors in the first 3 innings of this game. So they've done a good job here. Now you just got to hope they can finish it off.
But it's all for naught, like you said, if they don't get these outs here. And it starts with this first guy. I know as an offensive team, you feel a lot better about your chances for a late game comeback here in the final inning if you get that first guy on. You get that first guy out, and you kind of get some dread in the dugout. You don't feel too good. This one's sailing to the backstop for ball one.
Yeah, the first out is a huge stress reliever.
And the good thing is, you got some cushion. You're not up just one, not even up two anymore. It's some good base running there from Lucas Parker. Got you a third insurance run. You got some separation, but no reason to fool around. Go after him. And Scales has missed high twice.
Just need to throw fastballs. I would assume these guys are probably taking until they get a strike. So we've seen 2 off-speed pitches here, not even close to the bottom half of the order here.
Next one from Scales, back behind his head again. 3-0. He needs to find something pretty quick. Those three were nowhere near the zone.
Not even close.
Next one. There's a called strike one.
Took a deep breath there and caught his wherewithal and was able to throw a strike there.
And even if you end up walking this guy,
It's not the worst.
you get a strike there. So it's not like you threw a 4-pitch walk. You at least got one over the plate. And instead, a ground ball right to Scales. Takes his time. Works towards the bag. Flips to Duncan for out number one. He battles back from a 3-0 count. And he gets a ground ball right back to him. And there's that big first out here in the 7th.
Good job there not to rush himself. He bobbled it, took a deep breath again, and then just walked over there and got the out.
You can tell. I don't know how many reps Eric Duncan's had at first base, but from a toss from the pitcher, and he's out stretching looking
like it was a bang-bang play.
As long as he stays on the bag and catches the ball, that's all that matters. All right, up and in on Chotner this time. Scales is missing in the same spot. It's up and in to these right-handed hitters, but a lot of times, that can work to your benefit. If you can get back into the count, you've got those hitters off balance because they're thinking, I don't know where this ball's going.
Yeah, it's true.
That was a Randy Johnson technique. He'd throw one up and in, and then you couldn't hit anything on the outer portion of the plate. Scales. There's a good pitch for a strike one. Guys are almost, already jumping out of the box as he's coming to the plate.
They don't make pitchers like that anymore.
No, they don't. Pretty hard to hit a 6'8" left-handed pitcher that was throwing just heat at you, and you knew what he was going to throw, and you couldn't do anything about it. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Chotner.
He had such a long motion too towards the plate, his arms and his legs.
So it's 60 foot 6 inches, but he was probably, for him, it was probably about 58. 58 feet or so.
He used all of his length.
Scales, swing, ground ball. There's Bennett. Plenty of time. Fires the first, and Duncan squeezes it for out number 2. Here's Nick Hannon, or instead they're going to go to Todd Hodges, pinch hitter. He will bat for Hannon, who for the most part, pretty good out of relief. He just had a few get away from him, and that's been the difference. First pitch, strike one call. Scales trying to avoid any drama here in the 7th and give Frankfort a victory. They're leading at 9-6, 9 unanswered runs from Frankfort. 5 in the 3rd, 4 in the 6th to take the lead. It was capped by that big 3-run double from Chase Patterson. This one scoots back to the screen. They're bounced in. Counts now 1-1. Scales is in relief, and he would be the pitcher of record. He can finish this thing off. But it's hard to see Frankfort staying in this with how gritty Eric Duncan was on the mound today. Next one from Scales. Strike two. 1-2. One strike away. 9 spot would be due up next. That's Salazar in the 9 spot at the moment for AJ. Scales wants to end it here. Pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped towards third. Mitten, backhands, flings to first, and that's out number 3. And Frankfort's got themselves a comeback winner yet again here at Bill McKee Field. And once again, the hero is Chase Patterson. 9-6 the final. We'll hear from some sponsors. Talk to head coach Tyson Smith, and we'll wrap things up. Redbirds, big win, 9-6 over Anna Jonesboro.
Wallace Industrial Tools and Supplies knows Southern Illinois. Located in West Frankfort, they're your Milwaukee superstore with over 8,000 square feet. Wallace Tools has the largest selection of Milwaukee within a 2-hour radius. Find power tools such as drills, saws, lights, shop vacs, and more with pricing lower than you'll find anywhere else. Wallace Industrial in West Frankfort.
IBI Management manages over 2.5 million square feet of industrial storage, warehousing, and office space in Tennessee, Indianapolis, Ohio, Illinois, and South Carolina with 64 tenants. Please feel free to contact us for any management needed for your property. Feel free to reach out with any questions to Bobby and Iris Kazadi.
With an award-winning body shop right here in West Frankfort, Illinois, Wicks is your hometown Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram dealer. Come out and visit us in person or online at gregweeks.com. Your hometown dealership right on the price, right off I-57.
Kids Corral Incorporated, celebrating 25 years serving the children and families of Southern Illinois. Owned and operated by Gina King and Kristen Cass. Kids Corral in West Frankfort.
Redbirds Live, brought to you by the partners of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates, including former West Frankfort High School dual sport standout Lance Brown and fellow West Frankfort alumni and veteran Matthew Caraway. The law firm of Sam C. Mitchell and Associates are proud members of the West Frankfort community and proud servants of all of Southern Illinois.
Ask Melissa Walden about Shelters Auto, Home, and Life Options. Call or text at 618-937-2092. Melissa Walden, Shelter Insurance in West Frankfort.
Contact Power Wash Plus for a free quote on all your residential or commercial pressure washing needs. Professionally operated and fully insured. Call Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505 for more information. That's Power Wash Plus at 618-663-2505.
Howell Insurance is a proud sponsor of Redbird Athletics. Serving West Frankfort since 1925, we provide auto, home, business, life, and health insurance. Howell Insurance partners with Auto Owners Insurance Company to handle insurance the right way, the human way. Call Ryan, Jessica, or Susan Patton at 937-4000.
9-6 the final, 9 unanswered from Frankfort here at home against Mississippi Division opponent in the River to River. Anna Jonesboro, nice comeback win. We are joined by West Frankfort Redbirds head coach Tyson Smith. Coach, thoughts? Another comeback win. Been hard to come by, but the ones you guys do win, it seems like it takes a rally, and you had another one here today.
Yeah, I hate how we always have to start off our conversations post game like this, but yeah, I'm getting a little tired of fighting out of a quick hole, but our guys are young and hungry enough to do so. So I'll take that first conference win any way we can get it.
Yeah, you mentioned young and hungry. I was going to ask, you go down 6 early in this game. What are you telling your guys, especially a younger team like you have, to get back into a game? Because they scored 9 unanswered there. That's tough for any team to do. So what are you telling them all through the game?
Yeah, one of our mottos, I guess you could say, is it's a little cliche, but we really take every at bat, no matter the situation or the score, just pitch by pitch. in little stuff like running ground balls out hard, running pop-ups out hard, um, and just not trying to claw back, all the way in one inning, scoring six. No, I mean we don't look for that really. We'll put one or two up and just kind of just slowly work our way back into it. We've done it a bunch this year. I'm not a fan of it, but these guys are pretty good at doing it.
And Coach, the storyline, obviously today, Scales comes in, he shuts them down in 2 innings of relief. Chase Patterson's doing Chase Patterson things. I mean, he's hitting the baseball, but you don't win the game. The box score, the stat line's not going to look pretty for this guy. Walks some hitters, but you don't win the game without Duncan extending his outing.
No, absolutely not. I think Duncan threw well. For as long as he went, he got up to 100 pitches, which his arm's more than capable of handling that. And he always wants the ball when he's good to go. Just got to cut back on little mistakes early on, errors, walks, hit by pitch, stuff like that. But Duncan's a little bulldog out there, so we'll take him anytime we can.
And I just think we go back to it. We've said it a couple times. You're seeing better at bats from some of the guys down at the bottom. Another one of them rallies is Jace Bennett getting it going. An infield single on that bunt. And, we said it during the call that bunt singles for the team that benefit from it feels a little different than just a routine single. You get more energy. You could see that energy, and if you don't, touch a little bit on how much you've loved your team's energy from the dugout this year. It's been a lot better than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said early on, I told you guys we're young and hungry, but we haven't backed down to anybody yet, which is great. Especially coming into conference play. We play in a real tough conference, especially baseball-wise. But these guys just want to win, and they're young enough to not know how defeat feels all the time. But at the same time, they're not really afraid of any opposition.
Lastly, Coach, we've got your coverage again Thursday, as long as the weather holds up. Friday as well. Saturday we're covering JV. We haven't covered them all year, but touch on them. They've been winning some baseball. They won a couple last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of our younger guys, you wouldn't notice or know it if you're just kind of watching the game, watching our JV game. But they're all freshmen, sophomores, where they just play the game at a mature level, which is really fun to work with and makes it a little easier on me to play a little bit of small ball, which I love to do.
All right, Coach, congrats. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck again tomorrow on the road against Gil Benton Rangers. Get another win.
Yep, thanks for the coverage, guys.
That's head coach Tyson Smith. His team just got the 9-6 victory over Pinckneyville, and they get their first conference win of the campaign. We will finish running some sponsors, give you a final box score, and wrap things up from Redbirds Live.
Experience a taste of Mexico at La Fiesta Mexican Restaurant. We have the best food and drinks for the whole family to enjoy. See you tomorrow, amigos.
The city of West Frankfort is proud to support the students of Frankfort Community High School. The future is in the youth of our community. Go Redbirds.
McDonald's, family owned and operated. Moreland McDonald's has 21 locations to serve you.
People's National Bank has been serving the communities of Southern Illinois since 1909. We believe that great customer service along with a wide variety of products will meet all of your banking needs. Come in and check us out today. People's National Bank, member FDIC. The West Frankfort Aquatic and Activity Center are proud partners of Redbirds Live. Come check out our heated indoor swimming pool, fitness center, and basketball gym. Stop by for a visit, or you can contact us at 618-937-1665.
All right, we thank you for tuning in, as always, in our post-game coverage. That is brought to you by IBI Management here in the post-game show. The rain's starting to fall, but we get a full game in Paxton. Before we get to the box, your thoughts on Frankfort's efforts today. Really good effort from a young group that you almost like it. An older group might think, oh, this thing's over. Young guys, they haven't learned it yet, so they're out there thinking, as Coach was saying, you take it pitch by pitch and bat by bat, and you battle until you're out of outs. And fortunately, Frankfort was the team that came out on top.
Yeah, the first three innings of this game was not fun to watch, especially defensively. You had 6 errors there in the first 3 innings, but for a young team to almost flip a switch the way they did, it was really impressive. And it all started with bunt singles in both innings. Well, one of them was actually an error, but it all started with a small ball type of thing, and this team rallied around that. And you can tell with this young squad that when somebody gets going, the rest of them get going. And it was fun to watch the rest of this game after the first few innings.
And that was Bennett, both of those innings, being that guy to get on to lead the inning. And
Using that 9-hitter as another leadoff hitter, really.
he's a guy that throws the ball. He can play the outfield. He can play the infield. He's a catcher. Oh, and he's a freshman.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys are, and they keep getting these
Or
reps.
sophomores, yeah, young guys.
And they could be a team that can really win some games.
A few years from now, yeah, for sure, they're gonna be. This is a good. I mean, a good thing about a team like this is they're so young to where 3 years from now they're gonna have all the intangibles that you want in a good team, and it's exciting, especially the what we've seen from these young guys.
And the most important part is, even if you don't win now, you want to play competitive baseball. Yeah. They did that today, even with mistakes, and they still came out on top with a victory. All right, so let's get to our City of West Frankfort box score. We'll begin with Anna Jonesboro. We'll start with who they had on the mound. Hartline started the game. He went 2 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 K and 2 walks. Then Hannon in relief. He was the losing pitcher today. 3 1/3 with 1 hit, 4 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. For their lineup, McFadden with a hit, 1 walk. Then it was Harville, 1 hit, 1 run driven in. He walked once and he scored a run. Also Butler, a couple of walks and a couple of runs scored. Campbell with a hit. Then it was Chotner with a run and an RBI. Then a walk to Hannon and Salazar with a run scored, an RBI and a walk for West Frankfort. Duncan, 5 innings, 3 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, 4 Ks, 6 walks. And then Scales, a very clean line score of 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no Ks, no walks. 2 innings of just getting it done. And then offensively for Frankfort, Joyner, 1 hit, a couple of runs scored. Mitten, run driven in. He walked once and he scored a run. Then you had Patterson with the big 3 hits, a couple of doubles with 4 driven in and a run scored as well. Scales scored once, a couple of hits for Duncan, a walk and an RBI for Samples, an RBI for Odom, a walk, a hit, 2 runs scored for Jace Bennett. Okay, so Paxton, let's give out a player of the game that's brought to you by Melissa Walton Shelter Insurance in West Frankfort. It's the Melissa Walton Shelter Insurance player of the game. I think it goes without question. I mean, there's plenty of guys that were worthy of getting players of the game, but definitely one guy that stood out.
Yeah, I said it during the game. Patterson, I mean, he had his footprint all over this game. It wasn't just hitting. I mean, he threw a runner out, trying to score early in that game. He made a great play going into the gap that could have changed the game as well. And he had 2 big hits for the team, and he always has good at bats. And he was just all over this game again, and he's the player of the game for sure.
Chase Patterson, your Melissa Walton Shelter Insurance player of the game. Frankfort back in action tomorrow at Benton, as long as weather cooperates. So they'll be over there against the Rangers, and then so go check that one out. Thursday, Friday, Saturday we have coverage. Thursday against Harrisburg here at home. Friday we're back home as well with varsity against. Let's see here. Thursday against Harrisburg. Friday against Pinckneyville. Before Saturday JV action against Chester. We'll have all 3 of those games. JV's playing good ball. Varsity a good comeback effort today. Final thoughts today and moving forward. This is a game that can really help going forward in your year. You can turn a tide here. And you had to snap that losing skid, and Redbirds found a way with the 9 unanswered runs to get it done against a pretty good Anna Jonesboro team that's been very competitive with anyone they played this year.
Yeah, it was all in all, I'd like to see some cleaner defense, but for such a young team to be able to kind of forget about like I said earlier, 6 errors in the 3rd inning with not even 1 out into the 3rd inning. So, anytime a team can forget about that, especially a young squad, and do what they did today, it takes a lot of guts, and that's something to be excited about too for this program. So, I'd like to see some cleaner defense, but that'll happen with a young squad. But other than that, I really do like what I see from this team.
The Birds come back, they get it done. We will be back Thursday with Frankfurt up against Harrisburg, as long as we're able to get that ball game in. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to Redbirds Live.